Coco's mum often took Coco and Kira across the trees to that shiny cinema. A gleaming, metal-clad building that looked a bit like a spaceship. They would climb the escalators and step into the plush lobby, carpeted in deep red, with ticket clerks behind counters and a big screen hanging from the ceiling that told you which films were playing and at what times. Uncle Keith would usually be there too. Coco would run over for a hug, and Keith and Coco's mum would spend a few minutes catching up before Coco, Kira, and their mum moved on to see the film. Visiting Uncle Keith was always part of the fun. Keith worked as the cinema's security guard. He wore a tidy uniform, a blue shirt tucked into matching trousers, a polished leather belt with a brass buckle, a smart blue cap perched on his head, and a shiny gold badge on his chest that read security. He stood by the red rope strewn across the doors to the auditoriums and did everything a good guard does. Checking tickets, directing people to the correct screening, pointing out the restrooms, and, most importantly, enforcing the snack rule. Coco's mom never tired of reminding him. "Remember, Coco," she'd say, "you can't bring your own snacks into the film. Everything has to be bought from the Cineplex. No sneaking anything in. That's Uncle Keith's job to stop it." And she'd warn that anyone caught smuggling treats would be in big trouble. There was just one problem with the rule. The cinema's snacks were dreadful. Everything else about the Cineplex was brilliant. The seats were comfy, the staff were friendly, the films were great, and after the show, you could hop into the photo booth to capture a souvenir of your seat. But the snacks were simply terrible. There wasn't much choice. A couple of packets of gummy fruit and popcorn that only came salted. Who liked salted popcorn apart from Grumpy? It was also dry, which made it even worse. Coco couldn't understand why a cinema that forbade outside food served the worst snacks he'd ever tasted anywhere in the whole wide world. It seemed like one of those unanswerable mysteries of life, the sort of puzzle as baffling as why the sky is blue, or why his little sister always wanted to play with exactly the toy he'd just chosen. Some mysteries, Coco decided, must remain mysteries. But just because the bad snacks mystery couldn't be solved by thinking about it, didn't mean it had to stay a problem. Coco and Kira had decided to do something about it. One sunny afternoon, when their mom took them to the Cineplex, Coco had a bright blue backpack slung over his shoulders. That backpack was stuffed full of the tastiest treats imaginable. Yes. That afternoon, Coco and Kira were planning to try to sneak their own snacks inside. "How are we going to do it?" Kira whispered from the corner of her mouth as they followed their mom into the lobby. "We can't just walk them in the backpack. Uncle Keith will check." "I haven't quite worked that part out yet," Coco hissed back, though he must have whispered it a little too loudly. She raised an eyebrow at them, that silent, knowing look that parents have, as if to say, "And what exactly are you two up to?" Coco quickly looked away, whistling as if he hadn't a care in the world, eyes drifting toward the ceiling. Beside him, Kira nervously twirled the purple bow in her hair, trying to look as sweet and innocent as possible. Their mum studied them for a moment longer, then shook her head with a small smile and kept walking. "We'll just figure that part out once we get inside," Coco murmured, this time whispering much more softly. They stepped onto the escalator, riding up into the familiar red-carpeted lobby. The one that always smelled faintly of popcorn and excitement. Well, look who it is, boomed a cheerful voice. Uncle Keith. They both shouted, racing forward to wrap their arms around his legs in a double hug. How are my favorite niece and nephew today? Uncle Keith chuckled, patting them both on the head. We're very good. Thank you, Uncle Keith, Coco said, grinning up at him. Oh yes, Kira added enthusiastically, and we're totally ready to follow cinema policy to the very letter. Coco shot her a sharp look. Sometimes his little sister could be just a bit too honest. Their mom chatted with Uncle Keith for a few minutes, catching up on news, and then led the two koalas to the counter to buy their tickets. To Fortertala. Please, she says. The movie was about two human sisters who traveled all the way to Thailand to care for baby sea turtles, a film Coco and Kira had been counting down the days to watch. Any snacks with those tickets, folks? Asked the friendly badger at the counter, his nametag glinting under the bright lights. Coco and Kira shared a sly glance, then turned their most angelic smiles toward him. No, thank you, they chimed in perfect unison. The badger handed over the tickets, and the three thanked him before stepping aside. All right, you too, their mom said, tucking the tickets safely into her purse. I'm going to run a few errands while you're at your film. Uncle Keith will keep an eye on you, and I'll meet you right here when it's finished. Coco and Kira nodded obediently. And remember, she called as she headed for the escalator, behave yourselves. Yes, Mom, Coco called back sweetly. We always do. Once she was gone, the two were left under Uncle Keith's watchful eye. Hey, Uncle Keith, Coco said casually. We're just going to sit at that table over there until the film starts. Sounds good, said Keith with a nod. Just stay where I can see you. Don't miss the show, it's a great one. Coco and Kira walked over to a small table near the lobby's edge. Kira hopped up onto the bench, and Coco slid the bright blue backpack off his shoulders, setting it between them. He unzipped it just enough for them to peek inside. It was stuffed with treasures, gummy bears, strawberry laces, flying saucers, chocolate coins, candy cables, and even a big bag of butterscotch toffee popcorn. Just looking at it made their mouths water. They could already picture themselves sitting in front of Turtle Island, munching happily through the entire pile. But first, they had to figure out how to get those goodies past Uncle Keith and into the theater. And it was true, every last one of those brightly colored candies was hidden deep within the sheepy, soft, fluffy coats. You could hardly spot a single sweet among all that wool. Well, that works fine for you, sheep, said the mole, adjusting her green-rimmed glasses. But what about the rest of us? Exactly, chimed in the kangaroo, flicking her tail. I don't have any wool to hide snacks in. Neither do I, said the chipmunk, shaking his head. Nor me, rumbled the elephant, looking down at his smooth gray skin. So what are we supposed to do? Asked the mole, as the whole group began scratching their heads in unison. Not a single one of them could come up with an idea that made any sense. Above them, the large clock's slender hand kept sweeping around its face, ticking away precious seconds. In no time at all, they'd have to go into the cinema. Would they think of a plan before it was too late? Then, all at once, Kira's eyes lit up like a lantern. "I've got it!" she exclaimed. "Even though we don't have wool like the sheep, we can still learn from them. Each of us is a different kind of creature. We just need to think about what makes us special and use that to sneak our snacks in." The mole's nose twitched approvingly. "What a clever idea, Kira," she said, and soon the others were nodding in agreement, their faces bright with excitement. Together, they huddled in close, whispering and planning, determined to make Kira's idea work. Meanwhile, back near the lobby doors, Uncle Keith was keeping a careful eye on things. He'd worked at the Sleepy Forest Cineplex for so many years that he'd lost count. Some folks might imagine the life as a cinema security guard would be dull, standing around, checking tickets and pointing people toward the toilets. But not Uncle Keith. Oh no, to him, the cinema was full of surprises. He'd seen it all. Creatures laughing so hard they fell off their seats, others leaving the theater in tears, birds flapping up to the ceiling during musical numbers, and wildebeests who'd stampeded straight out of the exit when the action scenes got too wild. Once, he'd even had to coax a young otter out of the bathroom after the poor thing refused to come out unless his favorite movie star personally traveled from Hollywood to meet him. But of all the strange things Uncle Keith had witnessed during his long years at the cinema, nothing compared to what he saw that particular afternoon when Coco and Kira came to watch Turtle Island. At first, everything had seemed perfectly ordinary. His sister had dropped the kids off. They'd said hello, and then Coco and Kira had gone to sit at a table while waiting for the film to begin. But that's when the oddness started. It began with an elephant. The elephant ambled toward Keith, wearing a strange mix of guilt and forced cheerfulness, the exact sort of look Keith had learned to recognize in someone who was definitely up to something. Still, the elephant did nothing suspicious. He simply presented his ticket with a polite smile. "Ah, Turtle Island," said Keith. "Enjoy the show." The elephant nodded and lumbered toward the screening room. But as Keith turned to watch him go, his eyebrows shot up. Across the elephant's back, taped neatly in rows, were snacks, chocolate bars, candy packets, even a small box of popcorn, all stuck down with strips of clear tape. Keith frowned. "What on earth? Mother." It almost looked as though the elephant had tried to hide the snacks, but had completely forgotten that his back was visible to everyone. Shaking his head, Keith chuckled to himself. Kids these days. But before he could think any more about it, the next odd visitor appeared, a chipmunk with brown and white striped fur, clutching a movie ticket. "Howdy," said Keith as he checked it, looking forward to the show. The chipmunk didn't answer. Instead, she flashed a wide, nervous grin, and to Keith's astonishment, a shiny red candy popped out from between her teeth, bounced off the counter, and skittered across the floor. The chipmunk gave a startled squeak, slapped both paws over her mouth, and scurried into the cinema before Keith could even react. Keith bent down, picked up the rogue sweet, and tossed it into the bin. "Very strange," he murmured. "Very strange indeed." When he straightened back up, he found himself face to face with a kangaroo. "Hello there," said the kangaroo cheerfully, handing over a ticket. "Thank you," said Keith, glancing at it. "You're in theater too, straight ahead." As the kangaroo turned to hop off, Keith's eyes drifted down, and what he saw nearly made him laugh out loud. The kangaroo's pouch was stuffed with shiny gold coins, except as Keith looked closer, he realized the coins were melting. They weren't real coins at all. They were chocolate, and the heat from the kangaroo's belly was turning them into a gooey, oozing mess. Why on earth would anyone store snacks there? Keith sighed. He could only shake his head at the sheer creativity of it all. He glanced up at the big clock above the lobby. The movie was about to begin. Most of the audience was already inside, but something wasn't right. He hadn't seen Coco or Kira go in yet. Keith frowned. They wouldn't want to miss Turtle Island. So where on earth were those two now? Uncle Keith glanced toward the table where Coco and Kira had been sitting just moments ago. But to his surprise, the seats were now completely empty. He blinked, scanning the lobby. They were nowhere in sight. That was odd. He'd told them clearly to stay where he could see them. So where on earth had those two wandered off to? What Uncle Keith didn't realize, however, was that Coco and Kira were in Tilos at all day, were already inside the cinema. There they sat, snuggled comfortably in their soft, velvety seats. The bright blue backpack open before them and overflowing with the most irresistible treats imaginable. The lights had dimmed, the previews were starting, and the film was just about to begin. Beside them sat their new friend Mindy the mole, her green-rimmed glasses gleaming faintly in the glow of the screen. Coco grinned at her. "That was some seriously epic sneaking," he whispered. "Oh, it definitely was," Mindy replied, with a satisfied little smirk. You see, after all the other animals had figured out their own clever ways of smuggling snacks inside, only Coco, Kira, and Mindy were left without a plan. Coco and Kira had been stumped after all. What kind of sneaky tricks could a koala and a panda possibly pull off? They didn't have wool, pouches, or pockets. But that was when Mindy had smiled knowingly and told them that they already possessed the most important part of the plan. The snacks themselves, along with the idea that had sparked everyone else's creativity. The rest, she said, was up to her. So Coco and Kira watched as Mindy did what moles do best. She dug. In no time, she had burrowed a secret tunnel right beneath the cinema floor. She poked her little head, complete with those green spectacles, out of the hole and whispered, "Follow me." And that's exactly what they did. Mindy burrowed straight under Uncle Keith's feet and into the auditorium, while Coco and Kira crawled close behind her, the backpack full of sweets dragging along. It had worked perfectly. They were in. Except, Coco, Kira whispered nervously. "It's Uncle Keith." Sure enough, there he was, climbing the auditorium stairs with his flashlight in hand, its beam cutting through the darkness. His eyes landed directly on them, and on the mountain of candy piled in their laps. It was far too late to hide anything. "So here you two are," said Uncle Keith, stopping beside their row. "Mind telling me how on earth you managed to get in without me noticing?" Coco felt his ears grow warm. There was no point denying it now. He took a deep breath and told the truth about Mindy, the tunnel, and the snacks. "But we only did it because..." Coco began. looking down at his paws. Because we wanted to bring our own treats. The ones they sell here aren't any good, Uncle Keith. You have to have snacks with a movie. It's a rule of life. I know it's against cinema policy, but wait a minute, interrupted Uncle Keith, a small frown creasing his furry forehead. What's cinema policy? The one about bringing your own snacks? Kira piped up. You know, the rule that says you're not allowed. Uncle Keith looked from one to the other and then burst out laughing. What a load of nonsense! He chuckled, his belly shaking. There's no such policy at all. Coco and Kira's mouths dropped open. But Mum said there was, Coco stammered. She's been telling us that since we were tiny. And by the look on your faces, I'd say it worked. Coco and Kira exchanged stunned glances. Tara and Mum tricking them like that? How sneaky she had been all along. So, we're actually allowed to eat these snacks? Kira asked, still half suspicious. Of course you are, Uncle Keith said with a grin. And in fact, he plopped himself down in the empty seat beside them. I think I'll join you. The movie's about to start. After all, he reached into the blue backpack and pulled out a bag of sweets. Ah, he said with delight. Lemon sherbets, my favorite. And so, as the cinema lights dimmed to black cocoa, Kira, Uncle Keith, the mole, and all their new friends, the kangaroo, the chipmunk, the elephant, and even the fluffy flock of sheep, settled into their seats, rustling their hidden goodies and giggling quietly. The title, Turtle Island, appeared in glowing green letters across the screen. Scenes of a sunlit tropical paradise filled the theater turquoise waters, lapping at golden beaches and gentle sea turtles gliding through the waves. Coco sank deeper into his comfy chair, a fistful of butterscotch popcorn in his paw. Beside him, Kira was doing the same, her eyes wide with wonder. On the screen, two sisters appear in their small apartment in bustling Bangkok, dreaming of the beautiful island they longed to visit. Coco had a feeling they might just end up there in real life. Stories like this have a way of making dreams come true. All around them, the audience watched with rapt attention. Some laughed, others sighed, and a few even wiped away a tear or two. And if one or two creatures dozed off midway through the film, gently snoring against a friend's shoulder, well, who could blame them? Sneaking snacks into a cinema was hard work, after all. And as the story on the screen carried everyone away to distant shores, a soft, drowsy peace settled over the audience, a feeling as calm and warm as drifting off to sleep. Now, as you listen, imagine you too are sailing gently into that same peaceful dreamland. Feel the soft cozy support beneath you, your bed, holding you safely. Notice how your body, heavy and happy with sleepiness, is resting easy, floating like a small boat upon calm waves. Let the rhythm of your breath move with the gentle rise and fall of the sea. The waves are carrying you now deep, slow, and quiet, guiding you softly toward the land of dreams. Breathe in and breathe out. In and 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 That's it. Slow and gentle, like waves touching the shore. Now softly close your eyes, letting your eyelids grow heavy and warm. Allow your whole body to relax, as if you are floating peacefully on a calm sea. Drifting slowly towards sleep, feel your arms loose and heavy, sinking into comfort. Your legs and feet, too, growing soft and still, calm and at ease. Let's take a quiet moment to notice how your body feels. Keep your eyes closed and let your mind gently unhook from your head. Your mind is a magical traveler. It doesn't have to stay in one place. It can move through your body like a curious explorer, wandering through the rooms of a house, checking that everything is peaceful and well. Let your mind drift first to your breathing. Feel the air moving softly through your nose. Notice how your chest or tummy rises and falls up and down in a soothing rhythm. Good. Just stay with that gentle breath. Now let your mind glide downward from your breath, flowing along one of your arms. Notice the weight of your arm resting on the bed, or maybe tucked gently under your head as you begin to dream. Move your awareness all the way to your fingertips. Start with your thumb. Can you feel it? Then your first finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, and finally, your little pinky. What does it feel like at the very tip? Warm, tingly, peaceful. Good. Now bring your attention back to your breathing. In and out. In and out. Then let your thoughts drift down your other arm. Travel all the way to each fingertip once again. Your thumb, your first finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, and your pinky. Wonderful. Now, gently return your focus to your chest. Let your mind rest there, right over your heart. Calm and steady. If you listen closely, you can feel it beating a soft rhythm that whispers something magical. Do you know what your heart says each time it beats? It says, I love, I love, I love. Every heartbeat in the world says the same thing. And with every beat, love spreads, filling the world like raindrops filling a lake. The lake of love never runs dry, and it never overflows. It is always perfectly full. The world is surrounded by love. You are loved. Your family loves you. Your friends love you. And even the animals in the fields, the birds in the trees, and the trees themselves. They all love you too. And we love them back. That is the wonder of love. It never ends and never runs out. It flows endlessly, like water in a shimmering lake. It falls from the sky like gentle rain, keeping us safe, warm, and happy. You are safe. You are happy. You are deeply loved.